feel like in every video I'm wearing a black shirt and you guys are like, bitch, change. Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Laura, back again. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Today I decided that I was finally gonna tell you guys the story of the time I got catfished. I did a video of how to be a catfish, and I mentioned how I was catfished for like 2+ years.
Love that.
Let me tell you, the tea is hot. Like, honestly, this is gonna be a really long video, so if you're not into long videos, then like this probably isn't gonna be like the video for you. If you like long videos and you want to have a little story time with Laura, grab some motherfucking popcorn, some motherfucking snacks, because I'm telling you, this is a long ass story. Me trying to explain how stupid I was, like, that's gonna take a while. So this all started when I was a dumb little 14-year-old. I was in high school and I was a freshman. I had zero experience with guys, like zero. I had not had my first kiss. I hadn't even had a freaking boyfriend. Like, I didn't know what guys were. I was on my fall break, meaning I had just turned 14 because my birthday's in September, so I had just turned 14. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, I didn't know how to flirt. I didn't know how to talk to guys. There was an app called YouNow. Like, you have the option to either go live or go watch people who are live. Back then, like, more of the like popular people would go on, to like Cameron Dallas, Red Zach, like that's when like all of them were on the app. I would go live with my cousin Daniela. If you guys don't know who Daniela is, she's been in my videos before, but I'll put a picture somewhere on the screen so you guys know who I'm talking about. Me and Daniela, we would go live on YouNow. Literally, that's all we did because we were on fall break. We didn't have anything else to do. One day, out of nowhere, we were like, you know what, let's go live. So we went live. Our chat was popping, or whatever you want to call it. Out of nowhere, that's where my catfish comes in. He was watching my broadcast. It wasn't just him, it was like him and a whole bunch of like other people as well. And they started asking for like our social media and stuff. Back then, Kik was a thing. Like, oh, like, what's your Kik? I didn't even have one. Then I was like, you know what, let me just make one, like, fuck it. So I end up making a Kik or whatever. I give it to the people that were in the chat. I like told them what my username was, so like people added me, I added them. It was just a whole bunch of adding, you know, like everyone was adding everyone. And those people that I was adding, my catfish, here, we need a nickname for him. We're gonna name him Hunter because right here it says Hunt, so we're gonna call him Hunter. So my catfish Hunter, he was in like that group of people that added me on my Kik. I added everyone back. When he added me, like, I looked at his profile and I was like, he's okay. And I showed my cousin, I was like, oh look, he's okay, like he's not that cute, he's not ugly, he's like all right, or so I thought. Just kidding, no, but I was like, he's all right, like, you know, I don't care, whatever. Honestly, if my catfish is watching this, hi. So I end up adding him or whatever, and I was like, hey, like, I'm the girl that was on YouNow, and we start conversating. Everything is chill, everything is cool, you know. I thought he was just a normal guy, you know. I'm just like, oh, he's cool to talk to, like he knows how to like make conversation. To me, like a guy that knew how to make conversation, like that was attractive. Literally, like after that, like we just never stopped talking. Like we always had something to talk about, so like our conversations were never boring. Like I don't even know what we would talk about, but it was interesting. Out of nowhere, I remember he like stopped talking to me, and I didn't know why, but like he just stopped talking to me. This was like, I think like a month later. I know you guys are gonna be like, how the hell do you keep track of all these things? I keep track of like everything. If I start talking to a guy, I look freaking crazy. If I start talking to a guy, I'm gonna remember the day that we started talking. If like he breaks my heart, I'm gonna remember what
Motherfucking day he broke my heart.
He just stopped talking to me, so I was like, oh, I guess, like, you know. During this time, we were literally just friends, so I was just like, oh, okay, like I guess he just doesn't want to talk to me, like I don't know. I remember like out of nowhere he hit me up and he was like, oh, like I'm so sorry, like my mom took away, oh damn, I just spit. And he was like, oh my god, like I'm so sorry, like my mom took away my phone because I got in an argument with my sister and this and that. We started texting again, we were still friends. I don't know how, when, or why, but out of nowhere, like we started giving each other these cute little nicknames or whatever. I was like, okay, cool, that's great, you know, like a guy finds me attractive. He would send me pictures, so like I didn't think anything of it. I hadn't asked him to call me because He didn't even have my number. I didn't have his. Like, you couldn't call, you couldn't FaceTime, you couldn't, none of that. I think now you can. Time passes by and I'm still talking to this guy. Keep in mind, he's 2 years older than me. I was 14 and he was 16. So I was over here being all worried about me messing up. And it got to the point where I would be like, oh, like, I want to hear your voice, because I had never heard his voice. I had never seen a video of him. At first, I didn't even care if he, like, FaceTimed me. I just wanted him to, like, call me. Like, I just wanted to hear his voice. I wanted to hear what he sounded like. I was like, oh, like, can you call me, and this and that. And he would always be like, oh, like, I'm busy, like, I can't right now. I was, like, busy all the time or whatever. Supposedly busy. It got to a point where I was like, oh my god, like, I just want to hear your voice. Like, are you afraid of, like, me hearing your voice? Like, what's wrong? Like, why don't you want to let me hear your voice? He was like, no, like, it's not even that, like, I'm just busy or whatever. And then I was like, okay, well, can I at least, like, you know, at least send me a video so I know what you sound like? He was like, yeah, whatever. So he sent me a video. He was like, oh, this was, like, from my Instagram, but I took it down, like, a long time ago. Keep in mind, I remember that when I first met him on YouNow, I asked him for his Instagram. He was like, oh, I don't have one. And I was like, who the fuck does not have an Instagram? He didn't even have that many followers. It was like 60 something, 70 something. I was like, this is weird. Why doesn't he have any of his family members? Why doesn't he have, like, any friends? So I asked him, I was like, oh, like, why don't you have your friends on Instagram? Like, why don't you have your family on Instagram? He was like, oh, I don't know, like, I just, like, don't want them there. And I was like, okay. So anyways, he sends me this video or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, like, that's how he sounds. I didn't think much of it. I was just like, okay, like, it's a video of him, I can hear his voice. Like, to me, it sounded like a guy. We stopped talking for a couple months, and then after that, we started talking again, and then we stopped, and then we started, and then we stopped. I don't think it was, like, ever for, like, a whole straight year. Like, it was dumb. I had asked Hunter, my catfish, I was like, hey, can you FaceTime me? He was like, yeah, hold up, like, let me just, like, shower real quick. And I was like, oh, like, he's actually gonna FaceTime me. Wrong. It got to the point where I was like, literally, if you do not FaceTime me, like, I'm gonna have to stop talking to you because I don't know who you are. I was like, what if you're a catfish? He got all, like, defensive and was like, oh, nah, like, what do you mean I'm a catfish? I'm the most understanding person ever. Like, literally, I'm the most understanding person ever. You can do me so wrong and I'm like, oh, like, it's okay. Like, you had this going on, you had that going on. Like, I will make up whatever so that I can forgive people. And, like, honestly, I hate that about me. At this point, probably, like, 2 years had passed by. I was fed up with it. Like, honestly, like, I was just tired of it. Me being the dumbass that I was, I let it slide by for like another year. I didn't really know what a catfish was until I saw the show Catfish. I saw the little tricks that they would do to find the catfish. So I was like, maybe I should do that. So I did. I tried doing that, actually. I, like, reverse image search, I think that's what it's called. I did that. And nothing showed up, which literally pissed me off so bad.
I was like, what the f? He doesn't want to show me his face. He doesn't, like, ever let me hear his voice at all. Like, I've only heard it once in these 2+ years. And now Google's acting up and doesn't want to show me who the f this person really is.
So a couple more months passed by, and then I remember that I was like, oh, like, I've Googled, like, image searched all of these pictures, but not this one. This picture was just like a random picture. I never, like, looked for that one, but I was like, okay, let me, like, search this one up and see what happens. So I did it, and it was just, like, randomly, like, I just did it. All of a sudden, like, all these other pictures came up of this person, and I was like, oh my god, like, it's not him, like, it's not him, because that person had other pictures with another girl. I was like, he's catfishing me, like, this is not the person I thought it was. I wasn't replying back to Hunter anymore. He had no idea what was going on. He just thought that I wasn't replying, I guess. So after this whole thing happened, he keeps telling me, like, let me explain to you. I asked him, I was like, okay, then explain yourself. And he was like, well, let me just, like, it's not what you think, and this and that. And so I got so annoyed. I turned off my phone and I went to sleep. The next day I got to school and I had told my friend about it, and she was like, so how are you feeling? And I was like I start bawling my freaking eyes, and she's like, I know, like, this is hard, you know. And I was like, he freaking lied to me, like, 2 years, like, almost 3 years, bruh. He lied to me. Like, he knows how much I hate liars. Like, he could have just told me. Like, he could have been straight up with me and just told me exactly how, like, things were. And my friend was like, oh my god, like, don't cry. And she, like, hella hugged me or whatever. She knows who she is. If she's watching this, shout out to you. Dude, I was, like, hella crying. Like, I was not, like, emotionally stable. You guys are gonna be like, Laura, like, it was a fucking, like, guy. Like, relax. But you guys, I don't think you guys would understand why I was so upset when everything he had told me. Like, I didn't know if it was a lie or if it was, like, the truth. Like, I didn't know. Like, okay, like, what if his real name wasn't even Hunter? What if, like, he wasn't actually 18? Like, what if he was a girl? Like, I didn't know any of this. So I was super upset because I was like, what the heck? Like, you lied to me when you didn't even have a reason to lie to me. He was the first person I told a lot of things to. He knew me better than anyone else in this world. I'm telling you, he knew stuff that I had never told anyone. I, like, finally respond to him and I'm like, what do you want? And he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm like, okay, like, you didn't mean to hurt me. Like, well, guess what? Like, I can't even be in school without crying. Like, you're a liar. And, like, I honestly thought this was, like, a heartbreak. Like, I thought I had got my heart broken. No, I had just been betrayed. I had been lied to. I know what it is like to be heartbroken. That shit hurts. That does not compare to the level of hurt a heartbreak feels like. And I was like, you freaking lied to me. I told you so many times to, like, be upfront with me about things. I was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, why did you do it? Like, why? Like, what was your purpose? Like, when were you gonna tell me? And he was like, oh, when we met up. And I was like, oh, you mean the time that you didn't even meet up with me? I actually tried meeting up with him once. Tried meeting up with Hunter. Hunter never showed up. And I was like, cool. Love that. And I was like, what do you mean when we met up? Like, when I tried meeting up with you, you didn't even meet up with me. Like, what do you mean? And he was like, I know, but I couldn't that time, and you know why? And I was like, Then I was like, oh, when we met? I was like, when we met, you were gonna be a whole ass different person. I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I'm sorry, like, this and that. And I was like, is your real name even Hunter? And he was like, yes, it's Hunter. So when I found out that the pictures he was using was a girl, I was like, oh, maybe he's a girl and that's why he never wanted me to hear his voice. So I asked him, I was like, are you a girl? Are you a boy? Like what do you identify yourself as? He was like, no, like, I'm a boy. And I was like, well, you do know the pictures you've been using are pictures of a girl. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, pictures of a girl. After that happened, I was like, you know what, like, I'm not even gonna talk to you. So I cut communication with him. So I had stopped talking to him, and then, like, out of nowhere, like, he would sometimes, like, text me like, I'm sorry and this and that. And I was like, no, like, you fucked up, bro. Like, you haven't even showed me who you really are. I'm not gonna, like, accept your apology until you show me who you actually are, because I don't know who you are. I don't know who I've been talking to. And he was like, okay, like, I'm gonna show you. I was like, okay, then show me. He would never show me. It got to the point where, like, I had completely moved on from him. I was in a relationship. He saw me post about my relationship and he was like, I can't believe, like, you moved on, like, this and that, like, do you love him, are you in love with him, like, just asking me a whole bunch of questions. It was really annoying to me because I was like, he has no right to know what I do with my life. And so it got to a point where I was like, oh my god, like, stop texting me. I don't want to have problems in my relationship because you are texting me. And he was like, oh my god, like, I can't believe you're doing this, like, I'm gonna kill myself, like, I don't know what to do without you. And I was like, no, Hunter. I was like, you know, life goes on, like, you are young, like, you have a whole life ahead of you. And he was pretty much just telling me that he was gonna kill himself without me. For those of you guys wondering, like, he didn't actually kill himself, because the last time I talked to him was, like, a couple months ago. You guys are gonna be like, Laura, what the fuck is your dumb ass doing talking to this guy? I'm not talking to him anymore. The last time I talked to him was a couple months ago, I think. I don't even know. But let me tell you guys why. I was just so over it. He would just, like, sometimes, like, randomly hit me up, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna stop being a bitch. I'm gonna just let it go. Like, I need to let it go. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I did. So he finally showed me who he was, and I was like, literally, what was the point of you hiding? I mean, I don't know if that's actually who he is, because he's never, like, FaceTimed me to this day. But, like, if he's not, then, like, I don't really care, because I don't really have communication with him anymore. He helped me through, like, the hardest times of my life, which I feel like is the reason why whenever we get in communication, I'm always like, oh, like, how are you doing, how are things? I feel like there's so much little details I missed out on because like I didn't want this video to be an hour long. Anyways, so that was it for today's little chit chat video. Get ready with me story time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a good morning, day, or night at whatever time you guys are watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. We are almost at 500 subscribers. I just wanted to say thank you guys for all the love and support recently. Like, I really appreciate everything. If you guys enjoyed this video, I will see you guys next Friday.